Hi, my name's Dee and welcome to Sunchild Tarot. Now this is a general reading for the Solstice Year for Scorpio. I started this series of readings before Christmas and then didn't do any filming over Christmas, I'm afraid. Bar the New Year, where I did do a live stream. You can find it on my channel, where I did pull readings for each individual zodiac sign for the actual calendar year, but this is a different spread. So I wanted to carry on with these solstice readings because there's some really interesting things coming out of them. Now, bear in mind, this solstice had the Jupiter and Saturn conjunction on it, which I didn't want to do a reading about the Jupiter-Saturn conjunction because the period it controls is so very large. The next 20 years or the next 200 years, depending on, or even next 800, you know, depending on how you look at it. But this solstice was also, and conjunction was also fueled by the previous solar and lunar eclipses that were both quite significant eclipses, and that the effects of those energies are far more immediate. So this new solstice year, going from last December to next midwinter's day, solstice, that's the word I'm looking for, then those eclipse readings will have helped define that energy, and this is how some of that energy is manifesting. Theoretically, that's how the reading is supposed to work. So there are links for those down below. There's also a link for this Facebook page for this channel, which has its own inbox, so you can contact me directly for a personal reading if that's what you want to do via there. Now there's also, I post these videos, obviously, but also a lot of the astrology weather forecast videos that I watch. So, you know, I try to make it a bit of a one-stop shop. Now, if you've watched some of these readings before, you know, I always advise to watch your sun, your rising, and your moon sign, really in that sort of order. If anything, if you can only watch one, watch your rising sign. That's the most important in ancient astrology. Christopher Witecki will say what's your sun then your rising, because the sun is I am and the rising is how you are presenting to the world, how you are expressing yourself in the world. The more ancient astrology is the rising sign is the more important because it's your day-to-day business. It's your story, which, as you know, does it show? I love stories. If this reading will mean anything to you, please do comment down below. Let me know, because it's nice to know that these readings find the people that they are made for, that they find their homes. Obviously, helps the algorithm, helps me Google Politics, share, subscribe, all that good stuff. When all said and done on my YouTube channel. But that's enough waffle. I think that's all my waffle, and I've still, only just over 3 minutes. I'm losing it a bit. Right, let's bring your cards up. So I really like these cards that have come up for your year. The whole plan of this year is getting you to be towards a better place, although there is a deliberate, now how can I put it? I don't want to say a sense of trial to get to this better place, but you're going to have to work for it. That's what that strength card is telling me, that if basically energy in, energy out, as you've heard me say with regards to my readings as well, when, you know, the ones where I get you to ask a question beforehand. But this isn't something that you don't already know. You're starting the year defining your empire, your rules. You're being very aware of the rules that you are labouring under, and you have clarity on how you are going to deal with a lot of them. But what is most important is your rules for you, as well as all the other rules that are out there that you can look at and you can be feeling repressed by, or you can be feeling blessed by, however you want to look at it. What's important is your rules for you and what you are allowing yourself to do. Now, don't take that as I'm telling you to go out and do things that you've never done before, if they're of a more destructive or negative nature. But there may well be a few things where you haven't let yourself do them before, where this is the year. This is the year where you are going to be expressing yourself in new ways, and that will receive returns. As I say, energy in, energy out. The Emperor here is clarified by the Empress. We're starting the year on that divine pairing, but more importantly, by setting your rules, by defining your empire, by defining your space, you are already creating a harvest with which you can reap from, which with hard work will take you to a better place. There's that hard work will pay off. The reason I'm saying that is not just the strength of the Six of Swords, but also here we've got the Three of Wands, your ship's coming in card, as you are moving forward with your plans. There are some things that maybe not all your plans will pan out quite as you are hoping them to. We've got the Five of Cups at the very end of this top row. I am going to sneeze in a minute. And there's that sense of losing something, which will be a bit of a shock, but also will be no harm. Because right underneath that, we've got the Death card clarified by the Seven of Swords. Now, that can sound quite negative, you know, abrupt change brought around by secrets and lies, but that's not how I'm feeling it. It's abrupt change that you are able then to go, right, here's my strategy. Here's what I'm going to do here. I need this, and I need this, and I don't need them. So despite the fact that there's stuff that you may lose in this top row, here, there's stuff that you actually just put to one side, because since you've lost that one thing in the top row, you don't need them no more neither. So get rid. It's lovely. There's a you are Marie Kondoing your life. Doesn't that sound wonderful? But it is wonderful. I love this entry into the second row. Now this is the central card. We've got the World card, but you notice here she's, oh, what do you call it? Vesica Pisces. The World Spirit in the middle of the Vesica Pisces. Now, all of this Healing Light Tarot has the Vesica Pisces on every card, but I'm really drawn to it considering that it is being clarified here by the Two of Pentacles, that sense of balance. And it's also the Two of Pentacles that starts this row with the clarity. So you're having clarity about the rules that are around you, the ones that you are setting for yourself and the ones that are imposed upon you that you may or may not agree with. You are able to set your own rules and still abide by those rules that are by necessity and by society imposed upon you. There's a balancing act with these Two of Pentacles that you really, really profit from. Even though at times you may... There's one incident, definitely one major incident this year, possibly towards the end of the year, where there's something that happens that hurts. And it leaves you feeling very, very confused. But it actually is putting an end to a matter, or this matter will be ended by the end of the year. And it will be ended by the end of the year, again, like I say, in a way that helps you spring forward into the next year. So one thing I am not saying, Scorpio, is that 2021 is your year. This isn't. This is building up to a year that is your year. So without knowing what next year's astrology or spread is, because I haven't paid attention, then I can't say for certain next year will be your year, but I can say for certain that however good this year is, that is not the end of it. That is not the, well, more importantly, not the be all and end all of it. You know, is even if you feel that this year is your year, which there's a lot of feeling here that it will be, you will be brought down to earth towards the end of the year, but in a way that, although maybe a little traumatic at the time, very, very confusing at the time, very sort of, well, what have I just done all this stuff for? Bringing that sort of question up. And then it comes revealed, oh, that's why I've done all this stuff. Well, I'm really glad I've done it now. So there is that sense of working here. And it all starts... so Sun in Capricorn, it all starts at the minute. It all starts with how you are setting your rules, how you are creating your structure, and balancing that structure with the other structures that are around you. This Angel of Justice, Angel de la Justicia, that also indicates within that deck the coming of balance to your life. So this balance phrase is really getting hammered home. Now, whatever this event is, I'm not saying that it actually, and I don't feel that it actually disrupts your balance. And it's not necessarily, this hurtful event is not necessarily removing something that you had been using to balance. I rather feel that that balance carries on. But you do get the distance and perspective through this event to look at the balance that you have already created and therefore see its value and its worth, and also see where it's lacking. And you are able to put certain things to rest this year, which would be quite a healing experience for you. We've got Imamia from the Oracle of Heaven and Hell, representing the atonement of errors. So you're starting out in a wonderful place. Something comes and trips you up. So with that atonement of errors, this could be some error that you have done this year or in years past. And it comes back up to the surface. And it hurts because, of course it did, because you did it. And the you now looks at you then going, what are you doing? So again, this could be something that's imposed from outside, but you are not without some culpability, whether it's within your reactions to this pain that comes in, or how you had helped co-create the circumstances where this pain could happen. And that burden, oh, I get it, that burden is the one that you can work on to release. So, thinking about it, if you are even holding yourself responsible for allowing these circumstances where this thing could happen that ended up hurting you, there's also it's not just atoning the fact that you allowed this to happen. It could be atoning for the fact that you felt like you allowed it to happen. Take it as it resonates. For either circumstance, there is a healing energy there, but painful healing energy. But again, it has a very distinct beginning, middle and end. And at the end of it, there is this, I'm getting this sense of relief of, oh, thank God that's sorted out. And that means it's not going to come and trip me up in 2 years' time. Because there is a new dream, a new direction, a new love coming out for you this year, towards the end of the year, that does cause some form of conflict. It does cause some form of opposition. And I think it's this opposition that reveals this pain, this hurt for you. But that power of the Ace of Cups, I feel it continues past. So whatever this new dream or new love springs up for you, it's a good job that it springs it up for you. It's one of those things that you don't want to go to the grave without having sorted out first. Because you've got to be speaking your mind this year. We have from the Sufi Wisdom Oracle, speak out, communicate and solve the conflicts. Again, indicating what's going on here. So this circumstance is brought about by you pursuing a new love, a new dream. When I say a new dream, it could be a way of life, whether it's a job, whether it's what you do in the home, whether it's a new partner, or the way you're living with your current partner, or, you know, there's that new love, that passion, but not physical passion, just think about geek passion for something, you know, whether it's Star Wars or B5 or Star Trek or Doctor Who or whatever. You know how geeks can get. And that's the feeling that's coming out. You will be geeking out over something, whether it's a person, a job, a thing. And the act of you geeking out and making sure your rules are balanced so that you can accept this new thing into your life will cause some conflict. This conflict raises something up to your attention that allows you to heal it. That healing process, like all healing processes, will hurt, and then it will be over. And then all this work that you've been doing up here to set up where you're going next in life kicks in basically after the next solstice, by the looks of it, but there's this wonderful, productive, abundant tone to all of it. So even when this pain and this what the hell is going on, what have I done, feeling event comes up, you are already seeing the results of your hard work, and all this is another bit of hard work for you to complete, and you will be better off for it at the end of it. I cannot stress that enough. I know I'm repeating myself. The other reason that I'm saying about this is when I've been putting these Greek mythology reading cards onto the reading, I've been saying, right, what God force, and God force specifically, not archontic God mask, what God force is particularly interested in Scorpio this year? And you got the Fates, the Morai. There's a subtle undertone here that the decisions that you are making this year are really setting the tones for your future in a big way. You know, it's not just something that you can do 1 week and then 5 weeks later you do the opposite thing because you've changed your mind. The decisions during this period, while you're balancing the rules and working towards whatever goal you're working towards, matter. They have effect. They have lasting consequence. And so with the Morai here, it's like I say, it's not that 2021 is your year, Scorpio. And the only reason I'm saying it's not your year isn't because it's not your year. Looking at these cards, it quite possibly is, including this harsh, initiatory, developmental, hurtful experience that you have towards the end of it. It's that, to quote Kimberly Guilfoyle, the best is yet to come. You know, so there is so much hope here. We've got 8 of Pentacles here on the bottom of the clarification deck, which is saying, you know, keeping on with the work that you're doing. But on the bottom of the main deck, Ace of Wands, thrusting forward into the future. And have you noticed the amount of major arcana the basic reading brought you? We've got the Emperor, we've got the World, we've got the Death card, Hanged Man and Moon, and then we have an Ace. And then some of the best cards in the deck as well, the Better Place card, and the ships coming in with maybe a few surprises. Plus, on the clarification, Ace of Swords here. So another ace on the bottom of the deck. We've got the Empress, Strength. Yeah, that's it for your major arcana. But considering that's a 9/18 card reading, that's quite a lot. That's a nice smattering of major arcana that is showing again the significance of this year to you. So, it is not your year. But I am only saying this because it is setting you up for yet better to come. It doesn't mean that this one's going to be bad, because I think during most of it, you're going to be thinking it's a good year. then there's that experience. But looking back on it, you will be going, that was a good year, including that experience, because I am so glad it happened. I am so glad it got sorted. That is a really, really, really lovely, lovely feel for you, Scorpio. This is, I mean, it is your sign's nature to transform. And this is a process well underway. And what I'm seeing here is that process of transformation, you have made the decisions for that transformation. And that's what's echoing out throughout the whole year. So the transformation is not like that. You know, it's not massive quick. But you're able to travel so far. Six of Swords and Death. You're traveling so far within this year, where you really gain the perspective to look back on everything that you've achieved in a positive way. I cannot sing this readings, but these solstice year readings, actually most of them, if not all of them, have been really, really nice. I'm really quite chuffed with these, Scorpio. Right, so like I say, if it means anything to you, comment down below. This one is a sort of reading that is likely to, because you will know if you've made these decisions and these changes of going, these are what my rules are and these are what I'll be living by. So you will know if that process is already underway. So comment down below, like, share, subscribe. Your monthlies will be out at some point this month. I don't know when. This probably quite late. And I will see you next reading. Cheers.